It's been 42 years since one little girl moved away from Abbeville, South Carolina. But recently, Christy and her family decided to return to the place where she grew up and put down roots. What she found at a thrift shop there felt like a sweet hug from God. Christy is joining us today. Welcome to Spirit 105.3. You experienced a little miracle while you were out running an errand. What happened that day?
I decided that particular day that we should just go out and get some bread at the local bakery. And so I have been having the privilege of caring for my 93-year-old grandmother. That's just a delight in every way. I love to go thrifting, and I was close by the hospice thrift store, and my grandmother is just a great sport and loves to sit in the car and just wait for me, and my daughter is 4. They decided to stay out in the car and wait on me and have their treat. And so as I was in there, maybe 10 minutes at the most, and then on the way out, there was this basket that was kind of like the shopping baskets that you pick up when you go into the grocery store.
Sure.
And it was like I would say 20-some Bibles in there. And I always like to see if they have by chance a message, because I don't have that particular translation. They didn't have one in there. So I just said, I like this small red Bible. I said, I remember it, back in the day that we used to have a few of them growing up. And so I just picked it and walked out to the car. And as I was walking out to the car, I opened it, and there was my dad's writing with his name in it. And all I can say is I have been a person in my dad's life that he would call me every day, or I would call him every day. And he passed 3 years ago. And so this move that we made, my husband and my daughter made, was just an act of faith that we moved here. And so sometimes my husband goes back and wavers and thinks, oh, did we do the right thing? But it was all God's hand in it every step of the way. And I would tell him, just hold your hand out, because he's trustworthy, and he will hold our hand and take us and lead us the path that he wants for us. And so when I saw that name, I just started crying, and I went in the car and said, Mom, I called my grandmother Mom. I said, Mom, look. I said, I just picked this up out of the basket. Her mouth was wide open, and my daughter said she likes to imitate her. She goes, this is how she went. And she opened her mouth a little wide, and she's like, how could this be? She says, how? And she said, God has this picked just for you. And someone said it so profoundly. They said, my dad was a person that wherever he went, he spoke his heart and God's heart, and he reached out to the underdog, the people across the way, whether it was Romania, whether it was other countries, and he was always that type of a person. And so, he's still doing his work, if I can say it that way, even after he is gone.
Wow.
And then my grandmother took the Bible, and she said, well, did he write anything else in here? And I said, I don't know, let's look. So we did, and we couldn't find it. But the message was, I felt Jesus telling me was just to stay in the Word. Your answers are in my Word, and I'm just giving you a God kiss to remind you.
Yes.
That is a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're so welcome. It's not me sharing it. It's God sharing it through me. It's God's story. It's so you know that people can be reminded that, he cares about the big things and the little things. And my dad had an accident 4 years before his passing. He had an accident that injured his brain. Oh. And so he was never really just safe. But I know without question where he is today.
Oh, honey, what a reunion it's going to be someday. Wait till you tell him that story.
I think he did it. My dad, him and God were in it together.
Oh, I love that. Christy, it's so wonderful hearing about how God encouraged you in such a beautiful way. What do you say to someone today who's just feeling down? Any words you want to share?
Cling to that faith when things look stormy and dark around you. Never doubt. In the darkness, he will cover you with his feathers.
Oh, that's one of my favorite verses. I love it.
Praise God. Thank you.